Give them all the same law. Give them all an even chance to live and grow. Good day, everyone. I am Mary J. Son, and I will be discussing the Manobo tribe, heritage and tradition. The Manobo, sometimes spelled as Manuvo, Menuvo, or Pinuvo, are an indigenous group from Mindanao, Philippines. Their origins trace back to the pre-colonial era, believed to have migrated from the mainland Southeast Asia. The word Manobo came from the word Banovo, which is the name of the creek that presently flows to Pulang River about 2 kilometers below Cotabato City, and man meaning first, aboriginal, Tuvo meaning grow or growth. Their ancestral lands span a large portion of the Mindanao Island group, stretching from Sarangan Island to the mainland, including regions such as Agusan, Davao, Bukidnon, Surigao, Misamis, and Cotabato. Manobo simply means people or person. Alternate names include Manuvo and Binuvo. The term may have originated from Mansuba, a combination of man, people, and Suba or river, hence the meaning river people. The Manobo usually build their villages near small bodies of water or forest clearings, although they also opt for hillsides, rivers, valleys, and plateaus. The communities are small, consisting of only 4 to 12 houses. They practice slash and burn agriculture. Over the centuries, different Manobo subgroups spread across Mindanao, each adapting to various environments, ranging from the mountainous areas to coastal plains. Manobo subtribes include the Tinananon, Kulamanon, Ilianon, Pulangion, and Matigsalug, intermarried with the Tagabawa, Diangan, and other subtribes from the neighboring mountains of Cotabato, Davao, or Bukidnon. The history of the pre-Spanish Manobo is closely linked with the introduction of Islam in Mindanao in the 14th century. During this period, a Muslim missionary named Sharif Kabungsuan arrived from Johor to convert the people. Narratives from oral tradition attributed the origin of Manobo tribes to two brothers, Tabunaway and Mamalu. They used to live by a creek Banobo, which flowed into the Mindanao River near the present site of Cotabato City. Tawai rejected Islam, but advised his younger brother to submit to conversion. Due to this, Tabunawi was forced to move his tribe to other places to avoid conversion. Because all these groups retain their indigenous beliefs and practices, they retained the name of their original site, Banobo, which eventually became Manobo. On the other hand, Mamalu's descendants became the Maguindanao. From 1877 to 1896, the missionaries and military troops exerted all efforts to subdue the Manobos and Christianize them, but eventually gave up, withdrew from the hinterlands because the tribes constantly engaged them in warfare. Significant changes in the Manobos' way of life, however, took place during the American colonial period. Intertribal wars among the Manobo were quelled by the Philippine Constabulary and American officers, while the civil government persuaded the people through their datus to settle permanently in villages and send their children to school. 1950s onwards, mutations have occurred in Manobo tribes, including the coming of non-tribal groups to the Manobo-occupied areas. Shown in the pictures below are the traditional outfits of the Manobos. Men typically wear long-sleeved shirt and trousers, adorned with beadwork and geometric designs. Women wear colorful blouses and skirts, usually decorated with elaborate bead necklaces and belts. Clothing is made from woven fabric, often dyed using natural plant-based colors. Beads, shells, and brass commonly used as accessories. The designs and patterns on Manobo clothing are more than decorative. They symbolize protection, rank, and status within the tribe. Modern clothing is now widely used. Traditional outfits are still worn during rituals, festivals, and other significant events. How did the Manobos live? The Manobo traditionally rely on subsistence farming, growing crops like rice, corn, and roots. They also engage in hunting, fishing, and gathering forest products. This is because they live near riversides, but also within the mountainous areas. The Manobo community is typically organized into team-based clans. The Datu, or tribal chief, whose leadership and responsibilities govern the community and settling disputes. The Manobo have a strong spiritual connection with nature. They believe in the pantheon of spirits inhabiting natural elements like rivers, trees, and mountains. Farming and gathering are daily tasks, complemented by communal activities such as storytelling, music, and dance in the evenings. Reciprocity or upakat, basis of inter-village relationship where village members usually belonging to a kinship group or groups allied by marriage expect assistance from each other in matters of subsistence labor, defense, and support in crisis. Naming in the Manobo culture is often influenced by nature and significant life events. Names are believed to carry power, carefully chosen to reflect the character or future of the child. May be named after a natural phenomenon occurring during birth or a relative's name may be passed down. Sometimes, shamans or elders are consulted before giving a name. Male names often carry strong protective connotations, while female names are associated with beauty and fertility. Titles such as Datu or Chief, or by land or spiritual leader, so that individuals who have earned respect and status within the tribe. The Manobo hold various ceremonies throughout the year, such as harvest festivals and rites of passage. Pulan is a famous Manobo festival celebrated in Bukidnon. It showcases tribal dances, musics, and crafts, bringing together different indigenous groups from the region. Key ceremonies include marriage rituals called bakasalan, where a series of negotiations and offerings are made between families. Bakasalan is somewhat similar to what we call pamalayi, and death rituals referred to as katampuko, which help guide the spirit of the deceased to the afterlife. Rituals for planting and harvest are crucial to ensuring good yields and maintaining harmony between the tribe and spirits of the nature. Music is an integral part of Manobo traditions. The images below shows the two instruments that the Manobo people use in celebrating their dances and rituals, which are the kudyapi and agong. Disputes within the tribe are handled through a traditional system, often led by the Datu and the Council of Elders. The Datu acts as the arbiter, the judge, the provider, the peacekeeper and important religious performer, the sage, the spokesperson, ambassador of goodwill in the tribe. His sphere of influence or domain of authority may only be one Talibong Kutmanobo or cluster of houses, or one Ingid or territorial district, or it can also be an entire sub-tribal or tribal territory. With this kind of responsibilities, how can Manobos choose their datu? The datu came from the Bahani or Bagani class, and a very prestigious social status in the Manobo society. Adherence to merit system, selection process, and reward system are just some of the ways one can be adapted. It can be noted from the findings and observations that the Manobo tribes in Mindanao strictly adhere to a defined set of criteria selection process in choosing their datu as the chief of the land. The criteria revolve around personal attributes, skills and experience, knowledge of traditions and customary laws, and material or resource capability. In the actual selection, the prospective datu passes through two levels of screening. First, by the Council of Elders, second, by the community members. But the question is, can a woman be chosen as a datu? Except for the narrative of one Western Bukidnon Manobo about a female datu or bae or women leader being installed, no other information supports this account. Women play no part in the control of public affairs. There are no female chiefs. Women are domestic chattels relegated to the house and to the farm. There is common saying that women have no tribunal, that is, are not fitted to take part in public discussion. In the Vanwa social organization, the political leadership of the Dato is supported by elaborate custom law and supernatural sanctions. The customary practices are legitimized by a body of legal norms called adat, which literally means respect that is due to the customs and the village authorities. The strength of the society is found in its custom law. This is known as batasan, that is, custom law. In conclusion, the Manobo tribe is one of the Philippines' largest indigenous groups that lives primarily in Mindanao. They maintain a rich cultural heritage, a way of life centered on farming, spiritual beliefs, and strong tribal leadership. Their justice system, oral traditions, and rituals reflect deep connections to nature and the community. Despite modern challenges, the Manobos continue to preserve their vibrant culture, symbolized by their traditional attire and meaningful naming practices. Again, I am Mary Jagit Son, and this is my report about the Manobo tribe.